Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So, what's going on with the market? Well, Bitcoin officially enters the bull market. So, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? So, let's talk about what that means, why Bitcoin has entered a bull market, and why we have a lot more to look forward to. So, let's do this. Welcome, guys. Happy Thursday. Today, the U.S. market did not do well once again. NASDAQ dumped down, dumped down. Everything dumped down. But Amazon is trying to save the day. Amazon is going up because they reported better than expected earnings. You can see that. But overall, today was just not a good day. NASDAQ goes down once again. Two huge losses. And if you look at, well, you look at this, yeah, this shows you most of tech went down in a big way, right? But you know what has been outperforming tech? Well, first, Grayscale did. Any Bitcoin related stock has, so that's good. But of course, in addition, we have Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, it's kind of hovering right now. It's like 33.9. It was just at like 34. So we're now utilizing this as a support or resistance once again, right? But we're still hovering right now, which is quite okay. Bitcoin, like I've been saying, just last week, we were below 26,000. Now going sideways is perfectly okay. We need a little breather, but stock market is still not doing good. Bitcoin is, and so is any Bitcoin related stocks. Okay, that's the bottom line. But it's about to get better. But before I get to that, a couple other interesting news. SBF today, first time he testified. Not in open court. I think the jurors were not there. I don't know why. But he thought that taking deposits, okay, FTX deposits, customer deposits through Alameda was legal. He's like, I'm no lawyer, but I thought it was legal. I don't know if that's a good defense, claiming ignorance or claiming that you're just dumb, right? Like if that's somehow a good defense. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. So I don't know. I just want to highlight that. So basically, he thought he was doing things that are perfectly legal, like taking customer funds and moving them around between entities and trying to patch that later on after it all disappeared. I'm no lawyer. I just thought it was okay. So I don't know. That's his defense, ignorance. I don't know if that's going to work. Now, U.S. lawmakers, are also seeking charges against Binance and Tether. Senator Cynthia Lummis says that, she's asking the Department of Justice to investigate Binance and Tether because there are reports that they served as intermediaries for the Hamas and engage in illicit activities. I don't know if this is a wild goose chase. It sounds like it is. Tether, I argue, yes, they have always been shady, but they have been looked at and sued and attacked, and they have somehow always come out okay. Binance is under attack already, right? But yeah, they may get more scrutiny, but CZ is like, no matter, in 2023, we will try to keep things simple. Okay, this was beginning of 2023, not even an end. But he's been saying this for a while. Spend more time on less things, do and don'ts. Remember, education, compliance, product and service, and more importantly, 4, ignore FUD, fake news, attacks. Okay, so basically, CZ's model for this entire year has been 4. He always posts 4 all the time. Ignore the fake news, ignore the FUD, ignore the attacks. And that's what Binance has been doing all along. 2 new members. No, 1 upgraded. Michael's a new member, and Jeff just upgraded. You're now a better member. Thank you. But Binance is still churning away despite all these attacks. But you know, Binance.us may win. If Coinbase wins against the SEC, then Binance.us could also win because they're being charged for the same things. Though maybe not exactly the same thing, but you know, I'm rooting for them because Binance.us was a really good exchange. You could argue it still is a really good exchange, except they have no fiat capability anymore. But we will see. We will see what CZ says for 2024 once we get there. Okay, now let's talk about Bitcoin officially entering the bull market territory. What does that mean exactly? Well, this is according to Bloomberg analysts. And basically, he's looking at this chart, which I used in the thumbnail. Okay, what happened in 2020? You look at, yeah, even though there was a pandemic drop, but, you know, the temporary high in 2019 was around that 14,000 mark, right? And then there was just stretch where basically, yeah, there was some volatility, but overall, right before the parabolic rise, so you could see that there was a line. There was a line that's broken, and there's a channel, right? So basically, this analyst is saying, well, look at what's happening right now. Very, very similar, and Bitcoin has just broken above, right? So this person thinks, yeah, we're officially in bull market territory. I argue right here, I mean, you can't see my cursor, but I would argue when we broke out of that 15, 16K zone, that's when we entered a new bull market, okay? We already started. We're not at the tail end, but we definitely have started recovering. That's why we're not at 15, 16,000. Another new member, Robert, welcome. That's why we're at 34,000, right? We have more than doubled from that point. So definitely we are in recovery. We're moving forward into a new bull market, and it will get a lot better, right? So you don't need no fancy horizontal lines to tell you that. But yeah, that's why we have entered a new bull market. And I've been saying this, there's so much metrics, on-chain metrics, and just looking at the fundamentals, everything is pointing upwards and onwards, right? So there you go. Now, as for short term, some people may be wondering, well, what is Bitcoin going to do? Okay, we're struggling to break this 34.7 mark. Are we going to hover here, or are we going to go down? I just saw in the live chat, people were like, are we going to go down 31, 32, or are we going to go up from here? You know what? Who knows? Maybe a spot Bitcoin approval comes tomorrow, and then boom, we blow up, right? So it can go one of two ways. People are arguing that, yeah, if we break through that 34.7 resistance, well, then we're going to see 37K in no time. But if we can't hold, we may go down to like 32.6 or 33. So it's kind of like one of those situations. You don't know if it's going to go up or down. And I argue it doesn't really matter because this is short term. If Bitcoin goes down 2,000 points from here, it's less than 10%, okay? And it will recover, right? As long as you continue to hodl, you can continue to DCA, you'll be just fine. In fact, if it does go down, you could think of it as another opportunity to DCA for less. You could think of it as a gift, right? That's how I see it. I focus long term. I focus on the bigger picture. I'm focusing on what's going to happen end of 2024 and end of 2025, but far beyond that, what's going to happen in 2028 and 2029, and what's going to happen in 2033 and 2034, right? It's not too far off. It's really not. But by then, Bitcoin could be well above $1 million. And then no one's going to remember if Bitcoin fell from 34 down to 32. No one will remember that. Okay, that's why it's so meaningless to worry about that now. You got to focus on the future. And this is very important. This is part of the fundamental. Look at Fidelity. Fidelity's studying this. Basically, epochs, basically the cycles right? Since the peak in 2020, the exchange balances of Bitcoin has been going down by 30%. Now, I've seen some on-chain metrics that show this dropping down even more so, okay? But nevertheless, going down, down, and down, okay? More and more people are buying Bitcoin, removing it from the exchanges, and then storing on their cold wallet or hot wallet, and institutions are doing the same with custodians, right? Less and less and less Bitcoins available for purchase, and that will never stop. It'll just keep on going down because Bitcoin has a finite supply, and the release schedule gets cut in half every 4 years. It's only going to get more scarce here on out. It's not going to get more plentiful. That's what people don't understand about Bitcoin. Unlike stocks or oil or gold or anything really out there, there's no set supply. And you get the same kind of inflation rate consistently, basically forever. But for Bitcoin, that's not the case. You know, it's just so different. Here's another look. If you're talking about epochs, look at Epoch 2, Epoch 3, and Epoch 4, okay? If you're looking at this and basing it on history, look at what happened after that line for Epoch 2. And then look at what happened after Epoch 3. So what do you think is going to happen after Epoch 4? Right? So, I mean, it's clear as day. If you're still not convinced or bullish, you just have to look at history. What has happened before? Doesn't mean that has to repeat, but history tends to rhyme. And tends to rhyme because there's good reason for it. When it comes to Bitcoin, the scarcity factor is there, and demand factor is there, and it keeps on going up, and the fundamentals are getting better. It's really that simple, right? Really that simple. And then to remind you guys that even though October is such a good month, and we're still in Uptobers, not over yet, right? November and December traditionally has been pretty good as well. You know, the Santa rally is real. So even after this, we still got 2 more months. And again, we may get a catalyst right around the corner that can bump things up even more. So looking good. And even after December, if you notice, January, February, March, also pretty good. A lot of gains, and that leads into the halving event next year, right? A lot of gains, potential gains coming up. So it's going to be good. All right, what else is there? Let's talk about Gala a little bit. A lot of people have been asking about Gala. Today, they're doing pretty good. Obviously, this came out last month, and this has a lot of people not knowing what to do. And I've said this too, right? Gala Games co-founders are suing each other in damages. One seeking 130, another seeking 600 million. It's quite scary. It is, right? When the two co-founders are suing each other, you know that can't end well. And as far as I know, this lawsuit has not ended, or these lawsuits have not ended at all. But unfortunately, or fortunately, you could say, the people that are invested and paying attention and really enjoy the games, you know, they don't care. Gala went up pretty substantially. Look at the last week, up 40%. Today, up about 7%. But yeah, they've been doing pretty well despite the lawsuits. But that's because there's just a lot of things going on. There's a new legacy game that's kind of like a Sims game, okay, that just launched. And then you also have like the Walking Dead game. And then you still have like Spider Tank. You still have like Town Star. You still have a lot of cool games that's on board Gala. And a lot of people enjoy playing them, right? So look at this graphics. Looks pretty darn good. So that's the unfortunate thing with Gala is they are coming up. People are paying attention, getting bullish again on Gala. But it's kind of hard to get behind when the founders are suing each other. So hopefully they come to their senses. Hopefully they resolve this so that Gala can continue to move forward and get back to their previous high. At that point, at 70 cents, they have to go up like 60x to get up to their previous high. If I'm doing my math correctly. That's a crazy difference there. Yeah, 70. That's like almost 70x, 60, 70x. So think about the potential gain of Gala, right? Just to get back to its previous high, about 60x. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Man, pretty low turnout today. It's funny. It's funny. A lot of new members, though. I appreciate you guys. Robert also became a member. But, man, it's funny how fast things move and how adjusted people become, like, ASAP. All right. New Jerusalem. Respect, George. Salute. I appreciate that. Grayscale. I just talked about Grayscale. They have gained 220% this year, even outperforming Bitcoin. That's pretty crazy. Let's see. Jose says, I planted my seeds. All I have to do is wait until 2025 to reap my harvest. I was like, man, that sounds a little dirty. If he says quadfecta, you have to drink. Quadfecta. Let's see. Gala has a pretty good poker game. Yes. Very ugly chart. Yes. Thursday night football. That's right. I'm competing against football, which is very, very hard. Loyalty means nothing these days. What are you talking about? My wife isn't into Pumptember. Okay. I'll just leave that one alone. Stephen Young, when you go hang up the XRP sign. You mean this sign right here? I believe I'm the only one on YouTube that has this fancy sign. This is a good looking sign. BTC shaking now. Could be news about Tether. No, it's not shaking at all. Okay. Look at this. Even though it looks like it's shaking, we were doing that before. I mean, it's quite simply just consolidating. Okay. No one should be worried about a little bit of a dip below 34,000, considering we were at 26,000. Okay. Just a week ago. So it's okay that Bitcoin takes a little step back, consolidates a little bit, builds up for the next run. So it's okay. Let's not forget how long we stood here, right? This right here, how many? That was like 2 months. And if you go out further, look at how long we were here going sideways. This goes all the way back to March, right? We were here like 7 months. Do you need to move your Matic to pull? No. It'll be auto-converted eventually, not right now. It'll be airdropped, I should say, but they haven't announced plans for that yet. Homeless guy, I don't have opinions on Quant. I don't like them because they're a B2B play, not really a B2C play. Do you know what's happening with Celsius bankruptcy? I do not. I have not seen anything about Celsius bankruptcy. The other ones I have, like BlockFi is allowing people to withdraw fully. I think they're out of bankruptcy. I think I just got a letter saying they're out of bankruptcy. As for other ones, I don't know what happened with Voyager. 1/3 was let out to 2/3. I don't know if that's waiting to be converted or something. Yeah, I have no idea about Celsius. Altura, pretty low cap. Pretty low cap. Had a good 2021, like most. The ultimate platform of building games is scaling Web3 games. I've seen this before. Build with confidence. The over dashboard. Smart NFTs. It looks pretty cool. The thing is, I'll make this comment. Usually, when you have projects that are building like white box solution or some kind of easy to program kind of thing, right? Like a builder, for example, they tend not to do as well as the projects that are custom building, right? That's not always the case, right? It's kind of like, yeah, Spotify itself or Shopify itself is great. But if you use Shopify's generic template, it's not going to be as good as someone developing a full-blown website, right? So it's kind of like that. But I guess you could think of Altura to be more of a Shopify rather than a builder. I don't know. I think it's a decent idea. I just don't know if it's ever going to catch on. Dynex, they're using blockchain to power their neuromorphic chip and outcompeting current quantum computers. Yeah, I'm just going to say no to that. Ask him about Litecoin. No, please do not ask me about Litecoin. Can Mexico adopt Bitcoin like El Salvador? It's unlikely because Mexico is such a big city, but there's a lot of Mexican billionaires that really love Bitcoin. So I don't know if they could fully embrace it, but businesses could certainly start accepting it. It's not like you have to force people to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Many countries already accept Bitcoin and crypto in a lot of places, and ATMs are in a lot of places. In BlockFi, if you have BTC and interest account, you still okay. So it's the people that were using them as a custody service. Do you think Ledger is still the best cold wallet out there? Yeah, I think so. There's SafePal also, in addition to Treasure Ledger, but I've never used SafePal, so I don't know. But Ledger still seems to be okay. Myra. Wait, Ryan, are you only like picking it because you see it's up 20% as a low cap? Is that why you're asking? I don't know anything about this project. But they are on several big exchanges, so that's impressive. That's not impressive where they debuted at versus now. Trade assets with Myra. You can now list and order assets from Myra Marketplace. They have a couple of games here. You could run your node, a trusted Ethereum Layer 2 solution. So they're Layer 2 for Ethereum. Founded by leading gaming blockchain industry veterans. A lot of big names right here. Pre-register, stay up to date. So they're not. Why is it pre-register? So they're not out yet. Looks like a gaming chain, a gaming platform started by a lot of major industry veterans, but they are a layer 2 on top of Ethereum, and there's 2 upcoming games. You know, quite honestly, this isn't bad, except when did they come out? They came out earlier this year. They have a set supply. They're already on all the major exchanges. That's surprising. Well, not on Binance and Coinbase, but getting on KuCoin, they probably paid for that. OKX is pretty big. Gate and MEXC. You know, quite honestly, this doesn't sound bad. Seeing how there's not a lot of gaming platforms out there. Myra actually could be pretty good. I'm going to do some research into them. And they're still relatively small. So that's good, too. So, yeah, that actually looks like a decent one. I haven't come across a lot of ones that I think are decent. That could be it. Can't access the next crypto gem show. What do you mean can't access it? It's still on distro.tv, right? Is PYR that cool? You know PYR is the token for Vulcan, right? So you should check out Vulcan Forge. They have a lot of things going on. A ton of things going on. Floki's up over 100% this week. David, that's not a surprise. Whenever the market gets hot, people come in. They start becoming degens, you know, trying to make a lot of money. Meme coins tend to go up, right? I've been killing it with Pepe longs. Been making a lot of money just betting on Pepe alone, but I've noticed that other memes like Floki has also started going up. I don't know why this always... Why do I hate Litecoin? It's too long of a story to explain. Basically, you know, without all the personal bias, just look at it this way. Litecoin is not better than Bitcoin in any way. Okay, Litecoin is that copy of Bitcoin. Charlie changed a few things, but why would you hold it? Bitcoin appreciates better. It's more widely used and known. So, like, what's the point of holding Litecoin? Is Pepe about to pull a sheep? Well, it did already when it first hit a billion, right? A cool billion. Can it go more than that in this bull run? Yes. Even though they had some controversy recently, and I said I didn't like it. You know, they changed the multi-sig key requirement, and then some founders, like, supposedly took some money out that they were owed or whatever. Okay? But still, there's enough people that hold it and believe in it, and they'll probably pump it. You know, I did a Spaces today with Moby Media. They used to be called Whale Coin Talk, I think. But I said that too. If and this is me just you know, in my opinion, like if I was starting with $100 and I want to maximize it within a year, if I can only pick one coin to buy, and I can only one to the sole purpose is just maximize gains within a year, not hold long term, I'll probably buy Pepe with that $100 because I don't, with the bull market coming up, I don't think anything's going to outperform it, right? But of course that's not what I would do. Even with $100, I would discipline myself and do 50, 25, 25, right? Still try to keep that because I believe that works better over a long period of time, right? Over a long haul. Yeah. Crypto wealth, go to bed. Why are you telling me to go to bed? You my mama or something? Yeah, I'm using MEXC in case people keep asking me, where are you degenning? I use MEXC for my leverage. I've been doing 10x, 20x. If you go any higher than 20x, you're just going to get liquidated really fast. Like 30, 40, 50, you just get liquidated immediately. Yeah, I just been, degenerating, throwing a few thousand here and there and there and there. And it's been working. But, I'm just telling you guys, don't do it. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have extra money to lose, don't do it. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're just going to get wrecked. Yeah, but for those of you guys that do have extra money or know what you're doing, or you just don't care, you just want to degen and try it, that's on you, okay? But I'm just saying, I've lost a lot of money trying to outsmart the market using leverage, and I don't advise that for anyone. How do you swap USDC for file without going through a SEX? Uniswap? You could probably do it with Uniswap. I'm pretty sure Uniswap supports Filecoin and USDC. 34,000 is strong. If you can't do it on Uniswap, just try somewhere else, like PancakeSwap, or try SushiSwap, or try, I don't know, what's another one? What's another DEX? Can't think of another DEX that's Ethereum based. I don't believe Filecoin's not on Uniswap. I guess it doesn't have a USDC pair, but let's see. Yeah, it's on PancakeSwap, but you got to do it for BNB. Well, these are all sexes. I guess you got to use PancakeSwap. Swap it to USDT first, and then do a USDT to USDC conversion. Or first do a USDC to USDT conversion, and then move it over to Binance USDT, and then you could swap it. It's a pain, but you could do it. Crypto Frank just gifted 10 memberships. See, this is why you guys need to be in here. Recently, we've been having a lot of gifting. Thank you to everyone that's been gifting. Nutshell. Been a George since 2017. That's a long time, my friend. And you've seen a lot of up and downs, up and downs. And are you attending Cardano Summit Dubai or any of the 30 major cities? Next year I will be. Right now, I'm planning on the next one will be for IFC and Karate Combat. That will be in December in Vegas once again. So actually my team and I were just talking about it. I will probably be releasing another collection of NFTs for it. But those of you guys that don't want an NFT, you could buy traditional tickets. That's going to be a smaller event. And then next year, I'll be traveling to all the major conferences. Not all, but like 4 or 5 of them. And also be doing the same thing, network events at each one of those conferences and cities. So I've decided rather than do a big WAG conference, I'm just going to spread it out to smaller events across the country, and it makes it easier for you guys to come and meet me, and makes it easier for me to plan, and makes it easier for me to draw in the projects from those bigger conferences. I think that's a really good plan. So that's my plan for next year. But I'll be doing a lot more traveling next year. What do you think about the ICP hype? I don't know if it has any hype. I'm really not a fan of ICP. You should start your own meme coin. Talk about life-changing wealth. It's okay. I don't need. I actually did have a George coin before that never really promoted. It was on a smaller project called Rally, and they just went belly up, so it disappeared, unfortunately. But after that, I'm like, yeah, no more coins. I don't need that pressure. People are always going to say, oh, why is it going down and why is it dumping or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, I don't need that. Is the basketball court done? No. No, it's probably going to be last. I'm going to have to wait a couple more weeks before they come in. The walls still need to be painted. The room needs to be clean. There's a little drywall work, but the lights are in, and they're extremely, extremely bright. I need to get dimmers for that court. But pretty soon, within the next month, everything will be done. They're building out the deck right now. Have I ever been to London? No. Actually, I do want to go to London. I hear it rains half the year, but I do want to go to London sometime. Well, I've been doing a tour in Canada as well. Maybe Toronto. I like Toronto. I've been to Toronto a couple of times. Huge, huge Asian population. But I wouldn't mind doing one in Toronto. Maybe when they have ETH Toronto or something, having it there, that would be cool. How low do you think Bitcoin will go in the next 8 hours? As low as we are now. I'll just say. I'll just guess. I don't know where it's going to go in the next 8 hours. Toronto equals best Indian food in the world. I actually did eat at an Indian restaurant in Toronto, but I think I picked the wrong one because it wasn't not that good. But I hear Toronto is very, very, very diverse. A lot of great foods. Floki staking releases tomorrow. Thoughts? I have no thoughts. Something like a meme coin that tries too hard to be a non-meme coin, I think that's a mistake. And that's exactly what Floki is doing. So I'm not a big fan of Floki. If you host an event in London, I'd probably go depending on costs. Well, where do you live? Like, I would like to go. Next year, I would definitely like to go to Europe and Asia more. I'm definitely going to Token 2049 next year for Singapore. But if there's any other major conferences in Europe, I would definitely like to go. I want to broaden my horizons and be more culturally adapted, I guess. I don't even know what the word is. Well, I like to travel. It's hard, I would like to bring the family along sometimes, but it's hard because of school scheduling and stuff like that. Yeah, Bitcoin's not going anywhere, guys. Too many people, you know, as soon as we dip down a little bit, too many people are like, how low are we going to go? Are we going to go back to 32? Are we going to go back to 30? You know, way too many people too focused on short term. What you guys need to focus on is where Bitcoin will be by the end of 2024, okay? Where it will be at the end of 2025. That's what really matters. Right now, this is irrelevant. Okay, if it goes down, just think of it this: you get more opportunity to buy at a lower price. It's a gift. What did you do for work before you started this channel? I was in IT, so I started with help desk, then desktop support, then system admin, and eventually became IT architect. So, or system architect. I forgot the official title. So I kind of moved up, was doing about 15 years or so. UK was better in the 90s before new normal. What's the new normal? Last eclipse, it dropped 20%. There's an eclipse on Saturday. Well, that means I got to bring out my moon chart here. Oh, look at that. What is that? Like a empty moon or a little moon? Something happened there. Winter solstice is coming. Man, it sucks. The days are getting shorter and shorter and colder and colder. When's the next moon? The next moon is coming up very shortly. Very shortly indeed. Yeah, the next one is going to be a moon, a full moon. So you're saying Saturday, huh? Well, we'll see. Sometimes full moons, recently full moons have been pretty good. See here, right after that, boom, we started going up. This one, sideways, and then boom, went up, right? This one, we went down a little bit, then boom, we went up. So, you know, full moons, here's one, look at this. We dropped down for full moon, and then boom, right back up. And here's one, yeah, we dropped down, and then boom, we went up. So if we do drop down on Saturday due to full moon, you know, we could be heading to a new high on Monday. Did you go to school? Yeah, I went to Purdue University and went for telecommunications and networking. When you travel overseas, do you fly first class? Yes, although I have not traveled overseas for a long time. So, no, I guess not, because the last time I traveled, it was not. But from here on out, yes. Once you go first class, you never go back. But they are ridiculously expensive, especially going overseas. What do you think about the new Shelby GT500? It looks great. It looks great. You know, Mustangs have always been, you know, I don't know what you say. It's a pony car. It's a really good pony car, right? I feel like the higher end Mustangs are just way too ridiculous. Like they're just getting way too expensive. But for a fun two-door, you know, car, doesn't get much better. All right, guys. I'll let you go. Overall, Bitcoin is still doing well, holding strong, now recovering back up, which is fantastic. And according to Bloomberg, we're officially in bull market territory. So that means strap on, get ready. More gains are coming. All right? Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow. Happy Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.